So today's Ask a CFO show is exclusively dedicated to fraud. What crazy schemes people are coming up with, especially the kind in which they think they won't get caught, and what internal controls we can put in place to prevent and detect fraud. So as I said, as always, this is live Q&A. If you have something to ask it. If you have a grisly story to share it. Just don't name names, and we're going to do the same. So, and I also want to post a link here to a document that you are all free to download. It's called the Fraud Tree. My friend Joseph found it for me, and it didn't come with credit, so I don't know who to give attribution. I did not create this. I wish I did. So let's start. Light the fire and stick a marshmallow on the stick. Ladies, what story would you like to share first about a fraud that you have encountered during the course of your career? Like, what crazy scheme did somebody come up with?
I can give you one.
Sure.
I had one a couple of years back where the company had been doing very well and was trying to figure out what had happened. And when I was brought in to look over things, I looked at the accounts receivable and I noticed there were these large write-offs. And I asked what had happened, and I was told the merchandise was returned. And I said, I just kept following up. I said, well, who authorized the return and blah, blah, blah. And, just kept asking around, but I wasn't getting any satisfactory answers. So I just took it upon myself to call the client and say, hey, I noticed you haven't paid your bill. And, I just wanted to know, did you need a copy of it?
Little third-party verification going on?
Yeah, and I actually said to the bookkeeper, it just blurted out of my mouth. I said, why don't you tell me about the other bank account? And it wasn't even a thought in my mind. It just came out of my mouth. And she said to me, don't you have taxes or something to be doing? And said to me, sorry, I have been following up on the accounts receivable aging. I'll get on it now. Why don't you do what you need to do and let me do my job? And, I kind of responded back, well, you should have been doing your job for years, and that's why I'm here. But when I called the company, they said they had paid it. And I said, I had a feeling you did. I think it was just posted wrong. Why don't you send me a copy of the canceled check?
Oh, that is so great.
So that was on Friday. I had gotten the contract on Thursday. Friday, I looked over the account, noticed something was off on Friday. By Monday, I had proof that there was a separate bank account. She was depositing I guess 1 out of every 4 checks she put into her account. And she created a bank account with a name very similar to the company. So she left it was a long name, and she left one piece of it off so that she could deposit those checks. And she'd been doing this for years. This had been a company that had been audited. They had all these firms working for them, and all the years it went undetected. And started on Thursday, found it Friday, had proof of it on Monday.
Handy job.
Farming 10 years.
Yeah, and this is, I didn't know this was gonna come up, but I'm so glad it did, and who knows what's in store for us over the next 21 minutes. Let's emphasize here, this is a company that got an annual independent audit. If you run a company and you're thinking, yeah, we get audited, so we're fine. And you know what? They weren't fine. And it's not because their auditors were sucking hose water. It's because an audit is not designed to detect fraud. A financial statement audit is designed for other purposes. And if the auditors happen to stumble upon it, then they'll bring it to the attention of management. But it is not a fraud. Nicole, what's the name of an engagement in which you are supposed to go in and find fraud?
Like a forensic investigation.
Thank you. An audit is not a forensic investigation. And an audit didn't discover this for years. And Candy, wow. So this would go under asset misappropriation. So according to the fraud tree, there are 3 branches:
Yeah.
corruption, asset misappropriation, and financial statement fraud. This would clearly be under asset misappropriation. Under cash, theft of cash receipts, skimming, receivables, write-off schemes. Boom, right there. My message here before we go and hear another story is, if you are cooking up a fraud scheme and you think, oh, nobody has ever thought of this one before, just take a look at the fraud tree. We know about it.